All right, so if you're thinking about moving to DC, Maryland, Virginia, or Waldorf, Maryland in particular, this is the video for you because today at Open House, Charles is talking with Brianna Coleman about what it's like to live in Waldorf, Maryland. They get into where to work, where to go to school, where to have a good time. And if you like this video, definitely subscribe to our channel because every day we're helping folks out of state learn about where to move and who to call when they want to make that smooth move to DC, Maryland, or Virginia. So definitely take a look at our contact details in the description below if that's what you're thinking about. And let's get into the conversation between Charles and Brianna.
Hello, my name is Charles with Open House Media, and if you're ready to take a deep dive into what it's like to live in Waldorf, Maryland, then you've found the right video because I have Brianna Coleman with me, and she's a licensed real estate agent who specializes in people getting familiar with the area and move in. So if you're considering moving to the area, then you're in the right place. Let's go ahead and dive right in. So Brianna, can you tell us a little bit about yourself and why you think that it's a great area to live in?
My name is Brianna Coleman, and I've lived in Charles County for 11 years now. I'm a Maryland girl through and through. I was born in DC, but I was always lived in Maryland, Prince George's County in particular. I think Waldorf, to sum it up quickly, I think Waldorf is a great place to live because it's just far away enough from kind of the really city life that you get in DC, and you kind of get that suburban and a little bit of country living all at the same time.
Can you tell me a little bit about the history? What's the story behind Waldorf? Where has it been? Where do you see it going?
The best fact, I think, to explain Waldorf is the fact that in 1980, the population was just under 5,000. And since the 11 years that I've been here, it's grown a lot. There's always new construction and there's always new stores and shopping, but it's like boom. So to go from in 1980 from 5,000 residents to 77,000 now is huge.
That's dramatic.
It's changing really fast. It's kind of, if people haven't been out here, in a while, like older people who kind of used to come to the area, it used to be like a gambling. It's a lot of history here, and it's a lot of Native American land that used to be here way back, but it eventually turned into like a tobacco and kind of a gambling hotspot like in the 50s.
So you mentioned that the population kind of boomed, since 1980, going from 5,000 up to 70,000. That's a pretty dramatic increase. So what kind of industries are in the area that's attracting so many people?
So, there's a lot of military in this area. I couldn't really pinpoint an industry. I think just the development over time. It's a little cheaper to live in Charles County versus Prince George's County, which is a little closer to DC, but you still can commute easily to DC and even like Northern Virginia. And then there's Dahlgren, that's another base that's not too far. So it's kind of central for a lot of military members to a few different bases.
Gotcha. So is there a lot of people commuting to DC, or is it like a big commuting, a lot of people commute, or are people like staying put working in Waldorf itself, or is it more of a commuter?
No, yeah, it's more of a commuter, and it's a long commute in traffic.
Yeah, sure. So
without traffic, you can probably get there, right into DC in 30 minutes. Anywhere you're going, it's going to take you maybe 45 minutes to get into DC. But if it's traffic, it can take an hour. It can take, an hour and a half. It just depends on the time and when you're going. But people make that commute because it's a little more affordable in Charles County.
Right, because the house prices, I guess, are more reasonable, of course, before you start getting into DC and
Yep. The closer you get, the expensive. Yep.
Right. So other than DC, are there any other places that people are commuting to from that area?
Yeah. So outside of DC, you can go across. You can go south and go across the Harry Nice Bridge and go to Northern Virginia that way, like you're going almost to Richmond and Kings Dominion, or you can go to Northern Virginia from like 495, and you can go to like Old Town and Alexandria, and there's lots of stuff to do in Virginia, and historic sites and all kinds of stuff in Virginia. There's a lot of stuff here too, but if you want to get outside of Waldorf, it's not too far from Virginia either.
Gotcha. So is Waldorf primarily like residential, or are there like any big companies or like factories or anything like that there?
Nope, primarily residential. Yeah.
Gotcha.
If you're coming to Waldorf, it's either to live here or you're visiting family. Almost.
So let's talk a little bit about the schools. So how do the public schools rank there in
So we have some pretty high ranking high schools. North Point is one of them. I think they have about 17 different programs for like technology and engineering. And that school is kind of set up to where if you test into a certain program in one of those kind of specialties that they have, then you can go to that school from anywhere in the county. So a lot of middle school students will test in or will be eligible to enroll into one of those programs. But
Gotcha. Are there any like charter or specialty schools there, like private schools, anything like that?
There's a few private schools. We just got our first, the county just got our first charter school. It's an art school. It's Phoenix International Art. I forget the full name of it, but it's an art school that just opened up in La Plata. So this is their first year operating. It's a middle school. So
Okay.
people are pretty excited about that.
Very good. Let's talk about a little bit about the fun stuff. What kind of restaurants are nearby and bars, things like that?
So there's all kind of restaurants. I mean, that's the nice thing too about living here, unless you want to go to those other places, there's a lot of diversity as far as restaurants. There's like chain restaurants. There's a few like fine dining places. There's some mom and pop places. There's a karaoke place and a tiki, like a tiki bar, a tequila bar. You can go out to Cobb Island, which is a little further south, and you can go eat seafood by the water. It's a lot of different places that you can go in the county, and then even just in Waldorf, there's a lot of different options. There's an indoor skating ring in Waldorf. There's a movie theater. There's Sky Zone for the kids. You know, they still got Chuck E. Cheese is still rolling. But yeah, it's a lot of stuff to do here for families.
Gotcha. What about shopping? Is there any shopping in the area?
Yeah, so there's a mall here. One of my favorite places is Home Goods. So yeah, there's a lot of shopping. I feel like the mall, some people don't really like the mall and they go to other places, but for staples, you can always go to the mall, like for, your basic needs. But if you're trying to do like high-end shopping, our mall that's not the place to go. But
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So is there like craft or local shops, things like that, like mom and pop selling more specialty stuff as well?
Yep, there's mom and pops. You've even got like thrift shops, and you've got even like international markets, international stores, and like groceries, and yeah, it's like tobacco stores, and there's a lot of different kind of stores here.
Is there any concert halls or sporting arenas around?
So we do have a Blue Crab Stadium I think that is kind of considered La Plata or maybe White Plains, but it's not too far from Waldorf. But yeah, it's a minor league baseball stadium, and they have all kind of little fun activities, and they have fireworks like in July. The Charles County Fairground, they have fireworks. They have at the fairground too. They have like a lobster fest. They always have stuff there. The fair is there. The Charles County Fair is there. Yeah, I would say that's it for like sporty kind of events.
I guess that would lead into like any kind of festivals and things that happen, on an annual basis.
There's a lobster fest. You can always find a crab festival somewhere, nearby. The Charles County Festival. There's also what I like they've been doing recently. There's a pop-up and grow. Not too far from like the mall area. I would say it's like downtown, Waldorf, but they have a lot of vendors that come together. There's farmers, there's people selling, candles and all kind of vendors that just kind of get together. They'll have food, and it's just like a really nice festive kind of time for kids and people to come out and have fun and showcase, what they have.
And speaking of kids, I know that you have kids. So what do you do with your kids since you're a local there? Where do you take them to go have a good time?
Well, I've got one in gymnastics, and one that wants to follow the oldest to be also in gymnastics. But then the other two, I've got three girls. So the other two, they're in like a dance and gymnastics and tumbling kind of studio.
Okay.
Got family that live out here. There's taekwondo, there's karate, there's swimming, there's all kind of stuff to get your kids in, but you got to be fast.
Is there any kind of like amusement parks that are kind of close by to get to?
The closest I would say is Six Flags, and that's in Largo. And that could be maybe about 40 minutes away. And then a little further is King's Dominion. Those are the big ones. But there's like little small water parks like in between the area too.
How long does it take to get to King's Dominion from?
King's Dominion is less than 2 hours. So it's about an hour and 45 minutes or so.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's not too bad. I mean, it'd be a good day trip, right? To get up there with the kids. Nice. So we talked a little bit about events and yearly gatherings. Are there any like concerts that come through that area? Is it like a big concert place that's nearby?
No, the only concerts that I would say are like the free concerts that they have by this lake that's near the library. They do like a free jazz concerts every now and then, but nothing big like big entertainers to really come here.
So as far as like if anybody wants to get away, from, work life and they want to go relax a little bit, maybe go out and check out a lake or a river or some waterfalls, trails and parks, what kind of nature activities are there?
There's a lot of trails, and especially in the county. There's Gilbert Run is a place you can go to that is really pretty. It's a park that I think there's a lake there too, but there's really beautiful trails. Indian Head Trails, that's on the west side near the Potomac River. That's about, I think, 13 miles. And there's always somebody riding bikes. There's trails. There's trails everywhere. A lot of the communities have lakes. They're kind of built around lakes. So it's a lot of opportunity to kind of relax and get some exercise in and get some stress off you.
Yeah, right. Get outdoors and unwind a little bit. Yeah, that's great. A lot of people are very interested in that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So let's talk a little bit about houses there. What kind of homes can you find in your area? Are there lots of new developments like historic homes, farms, townhomes, apartments, kind of what's going on there?
So you can kind of find any of those except for, so we do have apartments, but you don't really have too many condo style apartments, like a condo that you could actually own that's like apartment style. There are some condos that are more like townhome style, but not so much ones that are condo style. But other than that, there's lots of new construction. There's brand new, almost mini mansions. There's split levels, split foyers, one level. You can get yard if you go out to the east side of Waldorf. You can get a little more yard and everything's a little more spread out. But yeah, it's pretty much any type of house out here.
So what's the median home price in Waldorf?
So the median home price right now is about $415, which actually down almost 2% from last month, which is kind of a game changer. But it hasn't gone down in a while. But yeah, so $415.
About $415. What about how much house can you get for $415?
You can get a nice house for $415. I would say you can get a nice single family home, at least 2,000 square feet or so. Pretty up to date. This wouldn't be like a total catastrophe or anything, not like an investment kind of thing. You can get a really nice house for $450.
Right, so like your standard 3-bedroom, 2-bath. If somebody was wanting to, a couple of kids, raise a family.
With the basement, yeah. Mm-hmm.
What's the median income in that area?
Median income is median household income is about 100,000, like 101, I think, last I checked.
Okay. So, what one tip would you give a prospective buyer before they would buy in Waldorf, Maryland?
I would just say buy what you can afford. Don't worry about what the interest rates are. Don't worry about what home prices are looking like. If it's your time and you can afford the house that you want or a house that will set you up for your next house, then, look into it. Don't worry about what's going on, because as interest rates are going up, prices are going down. So it's kind of, just see what you can afford and go from there.
Yep, that's a great tip. That's perfect. So I want to thank you very much for coming on and doing this video with me today. Definitely check out the link down below the video, and definitely connect with Brianna Coleman to help you find that perfect home in Waldorf, Maryland. And I want to thank you very much for being here.
All right. Thank you so much. Thanks, Charles.